Unlock the door, bitch. I'm on my way, and I got chicken strips.
I don't know why they call them chasers. It's not like Chubs can run real fast.
Double vodka with hot brownie chasers.
She just wanted to watch me eat it. Naked.
I can't say that. That's dirty.
Chasers will do anything to get into your pants. I love them.
Stop it! Stop!
Oh,
God.
well, welcome back. It's been quite some time. We took our winter break, but now we are back with Chubs Gone Wild, episode 567. 567. Recorded on Monday, November 18th, 2024. And it is currently 58 degrees and sunny outside in Chubland. Are you enjoying this cooler weather?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, complain about 100 degrees, and now we're complaining about 58 degrees. And
I didn't complain about 100 degrees. The problem is I don't run the heat during, much. So right now it's 58 degrees in the house and 58 degrees outside.
Wow.
So
when does Sean allow you to turn on the heat?
no, well, we'll do it every once in a while, but I'm not paying PG&E any more than I have to.
Well, what about the solar? Don't you get like a kickback?
That's SMUD.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, actually, I noticed that my PG&E bill went up just a little bit. Isn't that lovely? Just lovely.
Well, we only have gas for our heater and our water heater. And last month the bill was $80 and we hadn't turned on the heat yet.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's kind of insane. So mine's usually about 30 a month. And we have, of course, the water heater and the stove. That's pretty much the rest of the other central. So yeah, you know where that goes. Anyway, moving on. It is 10 days until Thanksgiving. Are you prepared?
For what?
Thanksgiving.
Why would I be prepared for Thanksgiving?
Well, aren't you going to your nieces or something?
Well, I've got plans, yeah, but I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm prepared. What? I've already made the mashed potatoes.
Yes, and the green bean casserole and the Jello fruit thing that they make you do, and bleh, gross. Bleh. Well, this year, Mr. Lurie Dean is going to be taking care of the turkey, and we're also going to be having a ham and pies and potatoes and mashed sweet things and
Is he already done?
You know, I don't know because it's very odd for me because, for decades, and I mean like since I was in my teens, I was always the one that cooked like pretty much everything for the Thanksgiving dinner. And every year I did it all. And well, this year I'll be making my stuffing because nobody likes our family stuffing, so Mom and I'll have that, and everybody else will be making everything else. So I don't know. Maybe I'll just sit back and drink beer and watch the game. Or whatever, however that works. I don't know. So yeah. Anyway, it's also 33 days till winter solstice / Yule, 37 days until Christmas and Hanukkah, and 44 days until New Year's Day, before it is a time again to think about Halloween, which is 348 days away. I'm very excited. All right, join me. Center yourself. It is time for an affirmation. My life and everything around me continue to get better and better. I now move into my greater good. Okay, moving on. It is time for Patreon. Patreon offers folks a way to support creators and receive rewards not open to the general public, though we do like the general public too. Like my Life in Fragments podcasts, books, videos, and more. We want to thank our current amazing patrons, Clint, Nephi, Nicodijastas from the Universe, Eric, Sean, Charles, Phoenix Dave, Brother Senatus, Kingsley, Kathy Bacon, and Moose P. Please visit patreon.com/Matt Burlingame to find out how you can support our work for as little as $1 a month. And thank you guys again so much. We are coming up on our renewals for hosting and such, so we truly appreciate your support. All right. Well, on November 18th, 1978, you wouldn't believe what happened.
Yeah, I would. I just read it.
Okay. Yeah, you know what? Hey, if maybe there's no, not gonna say it. Okay. People's Temple founder Jim Jones, leads hundreds of his followers in a mass murder suicide at their agricultural commune in a remote part of South America than in the nation of Guyana. All right. Well, many of the Jones followers willingly ingested a poison-laced punch, while others were forced to do so at gunpoint. The final death toll at Jonestown that day was 909. A third of those who perished were children. Well, that just brightens up the holidays. Speaking of holidays, all right. Let's see if we celebrate anyone. Apple cider day. Did you drink apple cider today?
No,
Do you drink apple cider at all during the year, really?
no.
Yeah, I mean, not so much either. I loved it when I was a kid, not so much as
It's just
adult.
it's too much sugar.
Yeah, yeah. Married to a Scorpio support day. Now that's funny. That's funny right there. And that definitely needs to be a day.
Yeah, but I thought nobody marries Scorpios, and
Oh, well, yeah. Well, it turns out that somebody, one of our dear friends, our dear friends, who is a Scorpio, who got married and then divorced. Well, it turns out that divorcee voted the wrong way and got his little self handed to him. It's true. Anyway, moving on. It's also Mickey Mouse Day. Nope, nothing. Not on your shirt.
no,
Okay.
I
Uh,
don't like T-shirts with things printed on them anymore.
oh, why?
Because I'm fat enough, I don't need to look like a billboard too. So,
Well, that's
oh
my whole thing.
yeah, there you go.
T-shirts with really cool, fun stuff on them. I get a lot of people that comment on my T-shirts and stuff in a positive way. In a
Of course, a positive way. They're not going to say it if they're saying
maybe
rude things. They
they
say that
better not.
behind your back.
That's right. You say it behind my back, and sometimes there's stuff written on that too, but rarely. Anyway, it's also National Princess Day.
Well, well, I qualified that, so yeah.
Yes, you're a good princess. National Vichyssoise Day.
No, I didn't.
No, thank you. Gazpacho soup. Sorry. It's also National Occult Day. That's just a given. Um, Push button phone day. Who does that anymore? Well, you know what? I saw an ad on Facebook. I don't know if I told you this already, but I saw an ad on Facebook, and it was this guy who was gushing about this wonderful thing that was a phone for everyone. It just stayed in the house, connected to the wall. It was a phone for everyone, and you could get one for just, I don't know, $100 or something like that. I'm thinking, wow, we that old and that past stuff that yeah, yeah, ridiculous. Okay. It's also William Tell Day. No? Okay. Well, I'm sensing a theme there. Disney, Apple's occult. It's Snow White Day. No, it's not. And I'm kidding. Okay. Well, let's move on to birthdays. Happy birthday to everybody who we didn't mention last week because we weren't here because we were having fun doing things elsewhere. One moment, please. We're experiencing some typical. Okay, happy birthday to Tara. Also, happy birthday to Nixie, that George, that wonderful George in Atlanta. We've got Todd, David, author Jody Slaughter. We have Marguerite, and coming up, oh, that famous actor David Workness. We also have Sean, Steve. Oh, we have Tom from Chicago, from Tom and Terry in Chicago. I also have Susan. Oh my goodness, it's your bestie. It's Mr. Michael. Happy birthday, Mr. Michael. You know what? Somebody tried to friend me from a fake account by his. Did they do that to you?
No.
Okay. Also to spoken word star Joby Radke. Also to Matt, Evan, Douglas, Jeff, Kenny, John, Jake, and Jared. A lot of J names right there. And we are done with birthdays. Happy birthday, everybody. I hope you have a wonderful exiting of the birth canal. And that is not stolen at all, I swear. All right, we do have a little bit of feedback, starting with Mr. Moose, who said, I listened to the podcast and I'm confused. Okay, he's not really talking in that tone, but anyway, the way we cook pork chops around here is to bread them like chicken and fry. Isn't that the way y'all cook them?
See, I just flour them lightly and then cook them.
I think that's the way my grandmother, great grandmother used to do them too. She didn't bread them; she just threw them in. Actually, mostly they probably cooked them in the oven. So, anyway.
Yeah, and I mean, I do season up the flour, but the flour actually seems more of like a vessel for the seasonings.
Mm-hmm. Makes sense.
But I mean, I've had breaded ones like that, but I don't see it that often. And I thought that was just like a restaurant thing more so. Because even my mom, she didn't do it. She was real light on the coating. But now that I know you can do that, I think I'll switch over because I love a crust.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And that looked so good too. I would love that.
And I think the other reason why we didn't do a heavy crust is because you usually have that fat rim around the pork chop, and it's not going to get crispy inside, but it may still render. I don't know. I've got to see what I'm going to do with that. Now it's got something new.
Yeah. Okay. And then Sean said, seems like I've walked into a glass door at some point. One thing I know is I've done is walk through a closed screen door, completely taking out the screen. Now that's embarrassing. I would not be surprised if I did something like that at some point too.
Yeah, well, you have to have a sliding glass door to have that happen. So, and I'm pretty sure I've done that.
I know I've definitely walked into the doors before. Okay. So we got some Chub hugs to send out, and Tom wants to start with.
No, you need to start.
Okay, well, I am going to start with everybody who just needs another hug about the current state of political affairs. Just a big, huge Chub hug and breathe and move forward.
Don't tell people how to feel.
I know. I'm not telling them how to feel. I'm telling them that they got this. They got this. And also I want to send a Chub hug out to our friend Clint, who's just kind of having a bad morning. So, all right. How about you?
Well, all the people that are being affected by weather, which will be us tomorrow.
Yeah.
And I know that saying, "Oh, we're going to hit 34 degrees tomorrow," is not a big deal for like probably most of our listeners, but
Mhm.
here it's pretty cold.
Yeah.
And then we've got a week of let's see oh god, what's the term? It's uh,
Tsunami. Oh no, atmospheric rivers.
atmospheric rivers
Yeah.
coming through here, and these are coming from. It's weird because one day it's like 60, and then it gets cooler. So, but it looks like it's coming from Alaska because it's not coming from Hawaii because Hawaii was beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When we started having the atmospheric rivers like last year, and people are calling them that and everything, and I'm just like, it's just a little bit of rain, and then it's like, holy shit, no, this is serious. So
Yeah.
now when they
It's
say atmospheric river, I'm like, uh-oh.
yeah. Well, we put the backyard, under a tarp. Well, all the things on the deck are now under a big tarp,
Uh,
and we've have it connected to the four poles. So hopefully that'll keep it down and keep things dry. But yeah, it's just when these things happen, I've had it where the my whole backyard is flooded
yeah, yeah.
up to the deck. It's weird. I mean, it's not going into the pool because we got kind of a downgrade from the pool, but it's just we get a lot of rain in these things, and
Mhm.
2 or 3 inches of rain in a day, and then 2 days later you get another couple inches, and before that you're 6, 7 inches, and it's
Yeah.
deep and thick, so
Oh. Yes. Yeah.
yeah.
No, you're totally right. I mean, when it comes down so hard and so fast, and then the drains don't have time to catch up. I mean, it's just like you look out. We're raised up,
Sure.
but there
Well,
were there were last year there was a moment when I was like, this is weird.
it's you can see when you can't does really define where the road is.
Uh-huh.
It's weird.
Yeah.
And then of course I don't want to drive in it either,
Right. Yeah.
whether I'm driving or not. I just because you can't see the potholes. You
Yeah.
don't know where, and of course we are the city of potholes.
Thank you for that. Yeah. Yeah, I used to love driving, going out and taking a ride in the storms and stuff like that. Now, nope. I want to be home. I want to go home.
Yeah. The worst I'll do is like driving through the car wash.
Mm. Yeah, that's good. Okay. Well, in the news, Dwayne Johnson's been spilling some beans about his bathroom habits. By the way, that's The Rock for anyone who doesn't know. Turns out that he sometimes pees in bottles while filming. The former wrestler turned movie star opened up about his quirky practice in the recent GQ video cover story. He explained it's all about being efficient, as taking bathroom breaks on the set can eat up precious time.
Well, especially if he has to remove costume.
Yes.
So I can see that.
Yeah. Well, I think that's one of those news items that's kind of taken salaciously out, and all the other actors are like, "Well, duh," you know.
Right.
Yeah. All right. The Postal Service is giving us something to smile about, and we definitely need that. USPS has announced that they're honoring the beloved Betty White with her own postage stamp coming out in 2025. Wonderful. I will definitely want to get some of those. All right, King Charles's private secretary is reportedly considering retirement at the age of 57, sparking hope for improved relations with Prince Harry. Harry claims she influenced the king against reconciling with Harry and the royal family. Harry has struggled to arrange meetings with his father, with experts blaming the private secretary. A successor without personal animosity toward Harry could pave the way with a reconciliation, restoring his role in the royal family and leveraging his impactful humanitarian work for overseas engagements. Lovely. Just lovely. All right. And now Tom wants to take you to the afterlife.
Well, first up, Tony Todd. He was the original Candyman,
Mhm.
and he was also in Final Destination. He died at 69. I thought he would have been older, but
Yeah.
uh, Judith Jameson, an iconic dancer and choreographer, the former artistic director for Alvin Ailey American Dance Theater, died at 81.
Mm.
And then we've got Paul Morrissey. He was a he worked with Andy Warhol and was part of the whole cult classics that they made,
Mhm.
and they're horrible films, just all of them horrible films.
I've tried to watch a few and I just couldn't.
Yeah, it was. I want to say it was his Dracula. I saw at one of the adult film houses here in town.
Mm.
At the they had midnight screenings,
Hmm.
and we were all so fucking bored. It was ridiculous. And well, of course, there's the promise of Wiener,
Yeah.
so that was an incentive to stay with it, but it was tough. It was really tough, and I'm pretty sure that's the one where the person next to me had bought M&Ms and dropped them on the floor, and then bent down to pick them up,
Oh,
and I said, "Do not pick those up." And they're
no.
like, "What?" And he goes, "They're right there." And I go, "They didn't roll.
Yeah.
They just
They just
sat
sat.
there and did not roll. You're not eating those things." And I think that was the same night that when I did get up, because that was the time period where you you wore tennis shoes and you didn't lace them up, and they were like slippers basically.
Yeah.
And I remember my shoes not pulling up when I stood up to leave. So I mean, eventually I got them up, but
Uh,
it was pretty nasty because
uh,
they ran it was adult films all day until midnight. So you were lucky if you got a dry chair.
squish, squish. Yeah. That's disgusting. What do you think about Andy Warhol? Do you think he was the like amazing genius that everybody says he was, or so many say he was?
Well, considering one of his contemporaries was Keith Haring, who was by far more talented than Warhol. Warhol just he he I don't know. I'm trying to think of somebody we have right now that really is like him, that people gravitate to, and yeah, that was the whole. It was just the art hippie movement, basically. The alternative in the art scene of what the hippie movement was Andy Warhol, and so people gravitated towards him, and I don't get it. Because I don't know enough about him, but
Uh,
he just yeah, I think he was just the it boy at the time. And
yeah, I think that he was an icon or almost a statement himself of the of what was going on at that point. But yeah, I mean, I like some of the ways that, the Marylands and the Campbell soup. Okay, I can say that those were can be
clever,
considered classics because of meeting certain blah 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 whatever in the art world. But
but I wouldn't put one up.
right, maybe if
you
it
know
was
it,
me or Corey, but
yeah, I mean, if it was somebody that if you like Marilyn Monroe or chicken soup, boom, it's great,
right,
put it up. But
yeah.
if you're, it's just, yeah, to me it was that not much appealing,
Hmm.
and he was a terrible filmmaker. So
Yeah, yeah. And from what I understand, he wasn't necessarily that nice of a person either, but I don't know, of course.
right.
So, anyway, okay. So now Tom wants to talk to you about.
Well, let's see. Oh, why is that still there? Okay. Frasier had its final episode of season 2, I think, because it's episode 10 and it's their Christmas episode. So
Hmm.
I figured, oh, so I guess I have started a Christmas but that was unintentional. It was, it was just because they threw it at me. They threw it at me. But and speaking of throwing it at me, fucking Patricia Heaton is going to be a regular. At least she's been on like 3 or 4 episodes now, and she's the girlfriend to Frasier. But she's streetwise bartender. She likes hockey and blah blah blah, and he's doesn't. So, and I hate her. So, let's see.
Both Trumpists, so that show's out.
Oh well, yeah, but it's still a good show.
It's good.
And if you don't watch anything but the murder mystery episode, which was hilarious, just fucking hilarious. Okay, moving on. Survivor this week, we lost Sal. He I'm surprised he lasts this long, and he's in the jury, so fun for him. The Bachelor, Golden Bachelorette, I didn't bother watching it because the morning the show comes out, people have spoiled it already, and so she ends up with Chalk, and good for them. He's rich. It's weird. His name Chalk. It's just weird. It was not Chuck. So anyway, moving on. British baking. This week they did 70s stuff. So the profiteroles, they start off with that, and then it's see, Brian knew banoffee pie was the middle one, which is banana and caramel and whipped cream. And then at the last part, they had to do a 2-tiered 70s cake. And I think it had to have like fruit in it. The cakes were so fucking ugly. First of all, there's a lot of like ugly green colors. Basically,
70s.
Think about the 70s, which was it was like the burnt orange, it was the avocado green, and what was it? It was like a yellow. What was the yellow? Anyway, so they did use a lot of those colors as well. And out of the people who were because there's only 5 people left, only one of them was actually alive in the 70s. So that was, that was painful.
I think they were gatos, right?
Probably.
Yeah.
I know
they were awful looking.
Yeah, two of them did the Black Forest cake. That's with cherries and dark chocolate, and then the cream and stuff. I can't do too much of that because I'm not a big fake cherry.
I don't like dark
cherry.
chocolate, and I don't. You're just what you said. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Not to mention how much alcohol they add to it.
Yeah, they were pretty boozy. Actually, one was so boozy that even Prue said, "Oh, that's too boozy."
Yeah.
But it was a fun theme, and the I don't know her name. The one of the girl went home. The girl of color went home.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's sad. I wanted her to last longer.
Well, I mean, she made it to the 5, and then it's just like Dylan's become unstoppable.
I know, right? Like, I did not see that coming.
I mean, he's got 2 handshakes so far.
Yeah.
In 2 weeks.
Yep.
And he won Baker. So good times. Let's see. So it's Florida Man. It's a Max show where they've got the reenactment stories of real people in Florida that have done weird fucking things. So the second one, or it was maybe the third one, I don't know. It's this guy. He starts off, now he's missing most of his teeth, and he's missing an arm, and he's like going, So I was going, I got real drunk and I went out and I was swimming. I didn't think there was going to be gators or anything. I'm like, oh my God. Oh my God. I mean, I'm sure we can find people like this here,
Hmm.
but it was just uh, crazy. And then the last one we watched was these gay guys who the people that were the actors that were imitating them didn't look much like the actual people, and they were, it's like one guy got mad at his boyfriend, so he went back, but he was having an affair anyway, but went back and tried to burn down his boyfriend's trailer by putting a pot of ragu next to a pot of oil and turning on the heat for both of them, because when the ragu splashes into the
Well,
grease, it's going to create a fire. Now he could have just, like lit something on fire, but no, this was his scheme. So of course he didn't burn down the place and gets caught, and it was just it was sad. It was very sad, but it was we did laugh a lot. We did see the Tom Papa special, the new one that he had, which we both liked very much.
hmm.
On holiday baking contest, are you up with that?
Yes. What
Okay.
holiday? No, I'm not up on that, but you go for it because
Okay.
I'll catch up.
Well, this week was Pie Week. So they had to make pies that had a 3D decoration.
Oh.
So one guy actually constructed it with his pie crust. It was connected to a tree that was in the center. So basically, it's like he constructed the whole crust with the tree and then poured in his pie mixture, and it went from there. It was like really interesting. I mean, I don't know how you could cut it since the tree's in the fucking middle, but yeah. So it was interesting episode.
Hmm.
And we just started a new show called High Potential over on Hulu, and this is with Caitlin Olsen, who people will know from either Gene Smart's daughter on Hacks, or she's also in Sunny and It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. She plays the sister in the show, and she's also married to Rob, who's also in the show. So these people are making some bank now. She's in 3 shows. He's got 2 shows. They're producing all of them. It's crazy. But anyway, she plays uh, well, she's not stupid. So I don't want to say she's a savant, but she basically can walk into a room and tell you what's wrong with the room. So what's why is that there? This is wrong. This shouldn't be here. And
Hmm.
she can either tell because the dust is different on the floor, or something. And so she was working as a janitor for the police department, and she happened to be cleaning a room where they had one of the boards, the with the victims and the suspects, and got
Yeah, yeah,
the
yeah.
the yarn going back and forth. Well, she's looking at that, and she's looking and goes, okay, and puts another person down as the victim. And so in the morning, they come in there and they go, "Who's touched the board? Get us the cameras." So they check the camera, and she did it. And so they bring her in. Why did you do that? And she goes, "Well, because you didn't put her down as a victim." Well, we don't know, she's not a victim. And she goes, "You know where she is? Because she didn't kill her husband. You can tell she didn't kill there, which I'm assuming is the husband,
Mhm.
because of this, and this. So she's missing. Where is she? She's a victim." And they're like, um, "Do you want a job?"
Yeah.
so
I
so
did see that clip and I that was
it's
really good.
and it's the characters are very likable. You remember, did you watch Scrubs?
Yeah, enough that I know the
And
characters.
okay, and the black nurse,
Oh yeah.
yeah, she's the captain on this. So it's nice to see her working. And yeah, it's just a really fun show. We were watching it because there were 6 episodes out. So we found it. And because in Hawaii, there's not much late night that happens. So you go back to your room and you drink and watch TV.
Mm.
And now we have a cable that we can hook up to the TV in the room and play everything from our iPads or our iPhones on to, so we don't have to deal with their cable and commercials and shit. So that was really fun. But we every night we watched 2 episodes the last 3 nights. So that turned out to be really fun. And then there's one new show that just started on NBC, or you can see it in Peacock. It's called St. Denis Medical, and it's David Allen Greer, and then Wendy McClendon Covey, who's the mom from the Goldbergs,
Okay.
and it's a funny hospital show. It's basically the new Scrubs. So good show. It's so far there's 2 episodes out, and yeah, we really enjoyed that as well. So I'm feeling very optimistic about uh, new shows because I'm watching Elsbeth, I'm watching Ghosts, I'm watching Tracker, I'm watching
Uh,
uh, Matlock, and now we got some other shows that we're watching. So I like having shows to watch.
yeah.
Uh, but that's it for at least the shows that I was watching. But are there any shows that both of us are watching?
Well, since you asked, well, there's the Great British Baking Show, which we
Right.
talked about. And
Yes.
then there is Matlock. I caught up on all the episodes of Matlock over the weekend, and this is such a good show. I mean, sometimes them, because basically the story is that she's undercover. She's a lawyer, but she's undercover trying to find out who is responsible for things that to make them pay for her daughter's death from opioid addiction.
Right. Somebody there got the opiate people protection, and so she wants to find out who did what. And just recently, we found a signature that leads to the direction of one of the people. So
Right,
we'll see if that. And I did like the fact that she disqualified one of the people she was going after because they wouldn't have done that, and
right.
she knew that. So I do like the way they're focusing it, and they're they're playing with us. I like a good murder mystery and or mystery. So this is fun show.
It is, and I think that sometimes um they do the opioid thing a little heavy-handed, but the last 2 episodes when they were doing stuff, I mean, they were really good. They were really on point. They're starting to pull out her emotions more and make her more than just oh, I'm a little spy, and just really flesh out these characters. And it is a great show. I'm so glad that they're doing it, and I want more. So I don't know how many
Well,
episodes we're
it's
gonna have, but I want more.
it's been renewed,
Good.
so that poor Kathy's not going to be retiring this year.
Yeah,
But yeah, it's
good in it. I mean, she's always good in everything, but I mean, like I like Tracker, but I like Tracker because you got, what's his name in it, and that's
no,
nice to look at. I
see,
like this show because everybody's really good.
I think that Tracker. I mean, I really enjoy Tracker a lot, and it's not because of him. Strictly, I mean, it's not strictly because he's good looking, because
Right.
I'm not shallow like that.
Well, sometimes I'm a little bit shallow. I like a little bit of, something to look at, something to be pretty. But
So
I feel like,
they're only listing 10 episodes.
oh, well,
So
we're 6 in, so we got 4 more coming.
yeah, but like I said, the second season's already been announced. So
But yeah, Tracker reminds me of like the old 80s you know, kind of what was it, Simon and Simon or something, like dun, 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 okay, we saved the day, yay. And with this one, it feels more in depth. It's got a storyline that I'm looking forward to knowing more about, and so yeah, it's good, and it's got good characters and good actors. Okay, so I think that's the only one that we're currently, well, left that we're watching together we talked about. So my week or last 2 weeks, I've been watching a lot. So I'll go through it somewhat quickly for you. Starting with, I finished the latest season of Heartstopper. God, that's such a good show. It makes me just they did it so well, and it's so romantic and sweet, and I want oh, it's just so good. It makes me feel almost sad for not being able to have any of that when I was like, young. But anyway, so I definitely recommend it. Doesn't matter what age you are, if you want a sweet romance, gay romance, go do it. And then Happy's Place, that's the new Reba one. And starting with episode 3 on, it got much better, thankfully. But they have two male cast members that are just flat. They chew the scenery every time they're on there. It's just like, oh my God. And here the rest of the cast found their roles, they're connecting, the stories are getting more fun.
It's a double Marion.
Oh my God, there are two of them, and they are so bad. And I feel bad about saying that because I really want to like them, but their characters, well, no, you know what? It's not even the character, it is the actors. They are really, to me, in my opinion, miscast. Anyway, but I definitely, if you just want a nice light laugh, go watch it. And it's getting better. So, um, I finished The Penguin on Max, which is the mobby story about the Batman Penguin uh person. Oh my God, this is just such a dirty, gritty, mobby story. Um, but it is really engaging. It has an amazing cast. It has twists and turns that you don't see coming. And if you like that type of like, go watch it. You'll really enjoy it. But wow, was that a hard thing to finish?
Yeah, I don't like. I've never been a big mob guy. You
Yeah,
know, I didn't like the Godfathers or Goodfellas or whatever. I
yeah.
just never just can't get into them.
I think the reason that this kept me engaged was because um his past, his growing up that they would finally flash back to in like episodes 7 and 8 was just so engagingly awful that it made his character understandable and almost, well, I won't say likable, but you can wanted to keep watching. I don't know if I'm going to be watching Monsters. That's the Menendez brothers show. I heard from our friend Michael Sage that the first episode, that the killing of the parents is so gory, over the top, that he almost couldn't watch it, and so I think that it would probably be too much for me to do. So I don't know. I'm on the fence about that. Okay, so one of the things that I've been doing all this last week is I've been stimming a lot, and stimming by watching Christmas movies to make myself take myself out of the current crap mindset that we've got since, several Tuesdays ago. And so I've been watching the following. I'm going to go through these pretty quickly. Falling for Christmas. That is I don't even remember it. It's on Netflix. All these are on Netflix, I believe. But Falling for Christmas, very cute, very fun. I give it a 7. A Merry Scottish Christmas. It is with Scott Wolf. It's basically a brother and sister who find out, oh wow, my our mother was like a duchess, and so now we have to go back and save the Scottish castle that we never knew we had. Um, meh. I go to five. The Christmas Prince, A Christmas Prince, A Royal Wedding, and A Christmas Prince, The Royal Baby. They've been out for a couple years. Pretty much everybody's seen them. They're fun. They're just very fun, light, lovely little romances, and I totally recommend them for just a nice light evening. A Christmas Inheritance. Oh, I watch this one every year. It came out a couple years ago. This is now one of my favorites to watch every year. Basically, the girl's a party heiress, and she's sent to her father sends her to a little town with only $100 and makes her not reveal her real identity so that she can learn the true Christmas whatever. It's really fun, and it stars the girl that was in the 100. Did you ever watch that?
Um, for about 14.
Okay. Gotcha. Okay. So yeah. Then we have a California Christmas and a California Christmas City Lights. A California Christmas actually surprised me. I was expecting it to be and it was good. So I give that like an 8. And then a Christmas and then the follow-up City Lights, I give maybe a 6. But the characters are still fun, but the story, they just phoned it in. They're like, hey, let's get a few more bucks out of this one. But still the actors made it work. Haul Out the Holly and Haul Out the Holly Lit Up. That is basically a girl goes home and then her family goes to Florida. So she's stuck to deal with the HOA. And really the whole thing is a big plot by the whole neighborhood to get her and this guy together. And it works. And it's got the big blonde woman in the Reba show too. Um, it's so good. It really was fun. The second movie, again, they're phoning it in, but it was still fun. A Christmas in Notting Hill. Which one was that again? Oh, that was where a girl meets a football player, not football, but not rugby, soccer player.
Soccer.
Yeah, but they call it football over there.
Yeah,
And doesn't
no.
realize that he's a big football player, and then they end up falling in love. It's very sweet. It's a very sweet watch. Totally would give that like a good 7. A Paris Christmas Waltz. This has Mr. Shu from Glee in it, where basically this girl gives up her job so that one of her coworkers can stay working there, and then she gets takes dance lessons. He finds her. They go off to Paris to do a little dance thing, and it's actually very fun. I would totally give that an 8. A Heidelberg Christmas. Well, this chick, her family's from Germany, so she makes handcrafted ornaments. So she decides that she got into one of the Christmas markets in Heidelberg, Germany. So she goes over there, and of course, all her stuff gets ruined and blah blah blah. But she falls in love with a nice German boy, and I would give this probably an 8 just because the cast makes it work where the storyline goes. And then Single All the Way, that's the gay one with Michael Yuri. Um, so fun. Watch this every year now. You've seen it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just a very sweet watch. I watch that every year now. And then A Claus Family Christmas 3. Obviously, there were 2 more before this. The first one was really good. The second one kind of sucked. And this one is like, dear God, just give it up already.
Is this the Santa Claus?
No, this is
Okay.
well,
'Cause-
okay, this is the one where it's basically a family in Norway and they are the
oh,
Santa Claus family and they have to pass it down every generation like I said, if you see a Claus family or a Claus family Christmas, first one, watch it. Second one, if you want to. Third one, skip it. And then finally, A Castle for Christmas. This is the one with Brooke Shields in it, where she goes back to find her Scottish heritage and where her father was, and she falls in love with Carrie Elway's. Who wouldn't? And again, this has been out several years, and I watch it every year now. It's really just a sweet, sweet story. And Brooke Shields is just such she gets such an underrating for being a really good actress.
Okay, now when I was in Hawaii, there was a station there that just played the Hallmark crap, and so all I saw was just this a few minutes of it where some guy had moved to this small town. He was going to put up a building over where what was the old post office, and so and when he was in the post office, he found an old mailbox that kids were supposed to send letters to Santa. And so but something happened and these never went out. So him and the girl who hates him because he's gonna take out the old post office, they go about fulfilling those wishes.
Oh.
So, but the thing is that it was always snowing. If not full snow, at least like you'd see a little snow always
Mm.
every outdoor scene there was a little bit of snow come down, and he had the worst wig on. It was like it was like, one of those really full wigs, and it was a nice wig, but it didn't have any, it there was no, you could just tell it was like a bath, bathing cap, kind of
Yeah.
terrible. And then that's all I saw of it. So yeah, and they're awful, by the
Well,
way.
it's funny when you're watching the all the Christmas movies that have snow and you're watching, you can tell which ones like they actually went on location where it was snowing,
Right.
and then the ones where, oh look, soap bubbles. And you can, it's like at some point you're just like, oh my God, that is the fakest snow I've ever seen come down.
Yeah, because they're filming during summer in Los
Yeah.
Angeles, so that makes a difference.
Yeah. Wow. Well, that other one I'll have to keep an eye out for. But yeah, I've just been watching about three or four of these a night.
Jesus.
Yeah, I had to take a break and watch the Matlock to kind of clear my head. Okay, so the next one is, am I the one who is in the wrong here? When I invited several friends to dinner recently, I was shamed and criticized about what I was serving. One of my friends invited another guest to join us, and it turns out he is very strict vegan. I wasn't even aware that he was coming. Prior to dinner, this fussy, picky guest realized I was serving chicken with orange sauce and a dab of honey. He then opened my fridge and said, I see ricotta, buttermilk, cottage cheese, milk, mozzarella, half and half, butter, and heavy cream. Then he slammed the door shut and remarked, someone needs to teach you how to shop more humanely. What's wrong with me and my shopping? Or should I cultivate new friends?
This sounds made up. It's terrible. First of all, there's no question you were serving dinner, and if this surprise guest comes up and is saying, and shaming you because you're not vegan. Yeah, you need new friends.
Yeah. We have a vegan friend who comes to our parties, and if he knows that we're probably not going to have anything for him, he brings his own.
Yeah, that's what my brother does. When we if he comes to an event, he brings his own salad,
Mhm.
and we eat carnivore style. So
Yeah. No, I just, yeah, I think that was a Miss Manners question, but yeah, it's just like, no, that person was rude, and you can tell your friend, don't bring them back. Thank you very much. So, I saw something flip go on. Okay. Hey Chubs, what's your favorite? Timothy wants to know what's your favorite canned chili?
I think it's Hormel.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'd probably buy whatever the Winco brand is, but yeah.
Yeah, and it's no beans,
Hmm.
never beans. I mean, there's chili that you can have beans with, that's fine, but no. No.
Yeah.
I'm double checking. It's Hormel chili. I get it at Amazon.
Oh, fancy. Yeah,
How
I just
okay, if I get it at Amazon, I get eight and they're under $2 a can for no beans.
yeah, that's pretty good.
Well, no, normally they're over $3 for
Now,
the. It's
are you
like
getting it through the Safeway delivery or the Save Mart delivery or whatever the
no, no, no.
okay. Anyway, um, yeah, I think Hormel and probably, I mean, I probably beanless is good for me, but I'll have some beans. It's all good. Hey Chubbs, Timothy wants to know, have you ever won a contest or award that something that or for something you made? If so, what was it?
A play.
Yeah, I was gonna say, for me, um, I mean, I won a bunch of journalism awards when I was in college. Uh,
Yeah, I'm trying to think if I did win. Okay, there was a contest I remember in grades, no, junior high, where you had to sell, what was it? Was it posters or like roll up posters or something, like it was weird. And I remember that one person was, everybody, every time you sell something, your name goes in, and my name got pulled, and I got $25. I remember that.
oh,
Yeah, and but yeah, I mean, other than acting or playwriting, not really. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I'm sure there's things here and there that I'm forgetting, but yeah, I think my journalism awards meant a lot to me. And well, and I mean, when my book, got a honorable mention from the Lambda Literary Awards and stuff like that. But eh. Um, okay. Timothy wants to know, hey Chubbs, do you have any friends who are Trump supporters that you still talk to? If so, how do you make that work?
Um, I married into them.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that's it. I don't have any friends who are Trump supporters.
Mm-mm.
And it's not, honestly, it's not that I've, pushed Trump supporters away. It's just, I don't know, maybe there's nothing in common. So it's just,
Right.
I don't know what else. Yeah, I mean, with the exception of a few members of the in-laws, uh, I don't.
Yeah, I found out that my one of the people from my extended family that I see every week or so, one of them voted for Trump. And don't talk about it. Just
Yeah, that I
and
find
don't
that's
really talk to them that much either.
yeah.
But yeah.
Well, that's if you are in the situation, you just don't bring up politics. Because remember when we were kids, they don't talk about religion, don't talk about politics.
Hmm.
And I don't mind talking about religion, but I certainly do not want to talk about politics with people anymore.
Well, and that's the thing though, is that it was one thing when you were talking politics with somebody who you thought, okay, well, at least they're coming from reality. But now when you're just like, no, that you're in a cult, sir, ma'am, and I'm not wanting to engage. I have not answered family members who have reached out to me about things just because I'm like, I don't want to talk to you. I don't need you. I don't want to. And anyone on Facebook? Oh, I did block one of our friends' ex-husbands from all my social media because he voted Trump. And
Well, yeah. I've actually said many a time that the elections are a great time to reduce your friends list.
Mhm. Because
And
it's not a friend. Not only that, but they're doing it just to be obsolete, different, to start a fight. That type of bullshit. Fuck you. You're not even doing it because you believe in, although it might be a racist, but I don't know about that.
yeah, I just, uh, I choose not to listen.
Yeah.
And it's actually, it was Twitter was, or X is the one that was hard to sit through because I mean, it's just barfing. Everything is just barfed up, and it was all negative and ugly,
Yep.
and so that's when it's the toughest for me is been on X.
Yeah. And every like 3, 4 posts, there's just another Trump or like right wing ad, and it's usually shit that's like so bold. It's like it's such a big lie that you're like, how can anybody in look at this and say, oh yeah, that's true? But they
Well, it was just the what really got me was the whole cats and dogs thing.
mm,
It was all those AI pictures everywhere, and it was just stupid.
yeah,
And yeah, it was irritating. Uh, I didn't like it when the other side did it either.
no,
But I just, I really would hope that we could take a lesson from the Europeans and have like a 3 month election cycle.
yeah,
And so because this 2 years, you know 2 years is ridiculous because
right.
as soon as the midterms are over with, we start talking about president again.
Hmm.
So we always say, it's not fair for those people in the House. They're constantly just trying to get money to run for their in 2 years.
Yeah.
And to me, it's like it's really unfair that we have to run for president every 2 years as well.
Hmm.
We have to live through it, and it's just we don't get much of a break.
No, no. It sucks. But yeah, as a general rule, for me, if I know somebody that has voted for Trump, I unless there's somebody that I just cannot avoid, I'll avoid them. You're not important to me. Not, you've destroyed things. Bye-bye. Okay. I remember our new segment. This one is I remember my first year of high school.
So what do you want from me?
What stands out of your
Oh,
memory
okay, okay.
of high school?
Well, see, my first year in high school, I did not, um, I wasn't in drama yet.
Hmm.
I went into that in my sophomore year. Um, and so, yeah, uh, so my first year, I did run for sophomore class president, and I won, but they disqualified me because I had I had I had an F during the midterm of my Spanish class.
Hmm.
So I ended up not failing, but they took it. They didn't go. They could have gone back and looked at the first semester, which I passed.
Hmm.
But yeah, so there was that, and gosh, the first year was so just nothing because I was it was still kind of that's the year that you're still hanging out with the people that you went to junior high with.
Hmm.
And we had a mixed at the Del Campo. We had two different junior highs that fed into one high school,
Hmm.
and I don't know if that's common or not, but
Hmm.
uh, still. So I was meeting new people occasionally that were from the other junior high, but it was just yeah, I didn't make any real friends until sophomore year.
Mhm. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Um, my first year of high school, I was had to go to because we had one of those where we had schools that would feed into the high schools. And because I technically lived over the county line at that point, or was it county? I don't know, city, something. They wanted me to go to a high school where none of my friends or anything would be. So I ended up basically saying, fuck this. I don't, and I had been picked on and everything else so much during uh junior high that I ended up going into one of their counseling sessions and said I want to do homeschooling, and they really pushed that, well, if you need to do this, blah blah blah. So they sent me to this little, I don't know, offshoot charter place to do homeschooling where I like had to check in once a week. And I think I did that 3 times and then said, I want to go back. I want to transfer to the school that I should have been at. So they said that they would make a special exception so that I could go to that other school. And then I never went, I never filled out the paperwork and I fell between the cracks. So within 3 weeks of my freshman year, I never went back to school. So I never had any high school experiences
So why would you ask this question?
because I imagine you had some good ones.
Yeah, but you don't even have any.
Well, but that's my memories of my first year of high school are not having any, and that makes
Okay.
it special.
Okay.
Okay.
Weirdo.
By the
Uh,
way, thanks, Timothy, for those questions. I really appreciate those. All right. Well, you want to find out what's in the lunchbox?
yes.
Well, let's start with Mr. Moose, who baked hubby his favorite cake, pineapple upside down. Trying to learn how to make this. It smells good. I hate pineapple, so I may never know if it's good, but he's happy. Aw. Actually, I really like pineapple, especially in a cake.
Yeah.
Not so much on a
Yeah.
pizza, but it's okay.
No, I like pineapple on everything.
Yeah.
I mean, not everything, but pineapple doesn't bother me.
Hmm.
If something's really savory and I don't want a sweet pop, then yeah, then I don't want pineapple there. But yeah, I always like pineapple, and that looks really, really good.
It does look good.
Did you?
Um, we used to eat the pineapple chunks and stuff from the cans. That's one of the things that we used to get when we could get it cheap. But
Well,
now,
yeah, I mean that's because that's before the days of them shipping pineapple or fresh pineapple being readily available. I mean,
right.
we were kids, as kids. I mean, granted, we did have a lot of fresh produce because we're in the, California,
Mm.
but a lot of what we ate was canned. I mean,
Yeah.
canned green beans, canned corn,
Mm.
canned the mixed vegetables, and then fruits. I remember peaches and pears and fruit cocktail.
Yeah. Loved that as a kid. Um, I remember being in the kitchen when I was a little kid and snapping the ends off of green beans with with my great grandmother. That's a sweet memory. All right. Then he says Italian food today, ziti with tomato cream sauce, grilled chicken, spinach, peppers, and it hit the spot.
Looks really good.
It really does. Really, really, really. I could go for that.
I just wished I had spinach in the house more often
I've
because
gotten, go ahead.
well, I just love throwing it into stuff.
Yep, I have a thing one of those things of baby spinach, and I have started to do that where I'll be cooking something like that and I'll just throw in some spinach. It's really good. All right, next up, Tom wants to talk about what's in his box, lunch box.
So these were pies that we got um, in Maui. There's this little pie shop, and it had been closed after the fire. But before that, we had never gone because, well, personally, I didn't think that he liked pie. So we went there and we picked up the first time we picked up a key lime and a coconut cream, and the coconut cream exceptional. The key lime was all right. I didn't like the crust was too hard and it was yeah,
Mm.
but the filling was good. But but the coconut, oh my God, it was like to die for.
Excellent.
Um, and then what happened was we happened to pass by the pie shop, and they go, let's get more pie. Okay, so then he got another key lime, and then I got a chocolate macadamia nut pie.
Wow, that looked so good.
It was tasty, but you know how we're not big chocolate
Yeah.
fans. It was very chocolatey,
Uh,
so the cream really helped. But and then the whole time I'm just thinking about the coconut because it was so good.
I'm gonna say it. I love a good key lime, more a key lime cream, but a key lime pie when it is just oh my God, there some of them are so good.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, that looks okay. Then comes me,
What
and
were you at Roscoe's for?
I was at Roscoe's for happy hour with the boys,
Oh,
and
okay.
so I dared to be, well, the same, because this is the thing that I usually get. Although sometimes I'm like, I don't know, I need to take Imodium beforehand? I know this is gonna not be good, but I didn't care. I took my Imodium and I had a barbecue bacon cheeseburger with onion rings on it, and then I had the side of fries, which is beautifully seasoned and everything. And well, let's just say that I enjoyed every bit, and I had two sides of mayo with it.
Oh, I was going to ask that because there's no mayo, and
Yeah,
I was
they didn't
wondering if
bring
you
it.
if you would do mayo because it's barbecue sauce based. So
Yeah, I like to cut the hamburger in half, and then when I pick up half of it, I like to kind of dip it in the mayo, and then, because there's no mayo on it. And then I also like fries in mayo too. I like mayonnaise. Mayonnaise is just yummy.
you're just so white.
Oh, I'll have some mayonnaise, please. You can check out these photos by going over to our Facebook group, facebook.com/chubsgonewild, and we will have those posted for what's in your lunchbox. And thank you to everybody that sent it in. All right. Well, if you want to send us what's in your lunchbox or any questions or comments or anything else like that, just send it to chubsgonewild@gmail.com. Find Tom's other podcasts at swanandjudd.com. Find my other projects at justkisstheguy.com. Find all of our links at allmylinks.com/chubsgonewild. And give us an email at,
You, me?
yep, give
Oh,
us an email at,
Chub's Gone Wild at gmail.com.
okay, once again, a little oomph, and give us an email at,
Chub's Gone Wild at gmail.com. You
yes,
didn't warn me
please.
about this.
I know. It feels so weird without a number, but yeah, stuff happens. All right. Well, happy holidays, y'all. It's almost Thanksgiving, but we will be back just before Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and let's see some Thanksgiving food from everybody.
Yes.
I mean, you don't have to send all of it, but if there's a highlight, send
Yeah.
us the highlights.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely looking forward to that.
And also remember that if you're making dressing for like a large group of people, use your muffin pan and bake it that way, and then everyone gets a little muffin of stuffing, and it's perfect because it's like the perfect size for a serving. It's just
Yep.
boop, and then you can even crush it and then put gravy on it, or just put gravy over the top of it. But it's I find that it's working really well for me. I've been doing it the past few years, and I will do it again next week.
I will be trying that myself next week.
And go ahead and for you, go ahead and butter the inside of the muffin pan.
Oh, that sounds good. Although I add a lot of butter to my stuffing, so it might self-butter.
You put butter in
My
your stuffing?
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
okay.
the base. I melt butter and then mushrooms, water chestnuts, sausage. Yeah. Oh, it's really good. Celery. Mmm. All right.
Okay.
We'll catch you next week.
All
Bye.
right. Bye.
A network of inclusion.
UnivazPods.net.
This show is part of the Pride 48 network.
This has been a For Fuck's Sake production.